Okay, so Raynel Martinez, I probably don't have audio recording right now. Um, this is my review for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I'm going to try to do this as slow as possible because I want to get into the details of the movie. I want to do an anagram and do multiple versions. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has an ending, and the spoilers, I will not spoil the ending. It involves a device that's really cool and fire and a person with fire firing on a person. Uh, the ending, people are talking about it. Why did he do that with the ending? Where he changes history for basically what amounts to sorry, Reebok here, I know it's product placement. But I guess, I'm sorry. I guess I can't talk about the movie without spoilers, but I'm not going to use spoilers. But there is a scene, and this is not spoilers, the scene that you can see clips online. There's a young girl who is sitting in a chair randomly. She's just on set studying her lines. And you see that for a lot of actors, for a lot of people who work on movies, we look at the Sharon Tate of it, where I'll get back to I'm going to just talk about one thing real quick. There's an amazing moment in this movie where you see Leo DiCaprio and Timothy Oliphant acting, and you see the movie version. You see it like it's a movie, and they're acting, and it's all just they treat it like a movie. You don't see everybody crowding around them, thousands of people around them, extras, everyone. You just see the movie version of it, and it's so amazing how you get swept up in that world of seeing that. And the director Tarantino made a choice to show that. And then it's just the funniest thing ever when he's like, line. He's like, oh God, please, let's go back. I fucked this whole thing up. And the guy's like, no, no, God damn it, no, come on, say the line. We can do this. And Leo is so vulnerable at that moment. He's playing this badass. He's got this hippie hair, and he's sitting there and he's like, I'm playing the heavy. And it's just so cute because it's like, oh God, I fucked this whole thing up. Please let me just go back and let me go back. Oh God, please. I fucked up the whole scene. And Timothy Oliphant is a genius because he's just sitting there like, I got all my lines. And he just fucks up his lines, I think, twice. And he's like, what's the line? What's the line? And you see him go back to his trailer. And he's like, what the fuck were you thinking? You look like a goddamn idiot. You're going to quit drinking. You're going to quit drinking. And it's just so fun. It's cute. It's a cute, funny scene. I'm not saying Leo is cute or anything, but it was just cute. It was such a cute little moment of I fucked the whole damn thing up. You better get those. And then he just goes to this dark place where he's like, and if you look at if you look on I actually saw this stuff on the internet about Leo saying that maybe he was bipolar, maybe Rick Dalton was bipolar or will commit suicide or God knows. But he just goes to this place where he's like, you better get those lines right, or you're gonna blow your fucking brains out in the pool and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, And you just feel like shit for the guy because he's such a dedicated actor, and it's the funniest thing in the world that Brad Pitt's character is. I could talk about his character, Cliff Booth, and it's just it's this it's such a short movie for such a movie that's long, and it's long. I mean, it's long. It's almost a 3-hour movie, but it's just so beautiful. Like the Sharon Tate. A lot of people will say, "Oh, Margot Robbie does absolutely nothing in this movie." I think people are missing the point of the movie. The best thing I saw was, her getting in her car, driving around Los Angeles in a time where there's no selfies, where everyone was leaving you alone. The paparazzi really didn't bug you too much. They were out there, but they kind of left you to events. There was nowhere to post photos that they would see your photos. So anyway, one of the funniest things ever, or one of the most beautiful moments for Sharon Tate is she goes to see The Wrecking Crew, I think it's called, and it's a movie she's in with Dean Martin. And she literally just goes up, she passes, she was going there the whole time. She was driving around, but she wanted to be around the movie because her movie's out. So she goes up to the box office and she's like, "Oh, how much for a ticket?" And it's 75 cents, which, God, we pay like 13, 15, $16 now. Imagine how many movies you could have seen on 20 bucks back then. So anyway, she's sitting there and then she says something. And I was thinking, oh, why doesn't I always wondered this, but I was wondering it, and I go, she's in the movie, and she goes, "What if I'm in the movie?" And the girl's like, "Really? Who are you?" And they're like wondering who she is. And then they do the coolest thing. They're like, "Okay, well, you still got to pay for the movie," or like, "Sorry, I can't." She does this cool thing where she's like, "Hey, let's get a photo with you and buy the poster and yeah, enjoy it. Go see yourself in the movie." And they're like, "Come on in, enjoy yourself." And it's just cute because it made me think of Brie Larson when she went to go see Captain Marvel or all the Marvel characters who go see Endgame. And she goes into the movie and it's sad but it's awesome. She's by herself in a movie watching herself and the audience is feeding her love. Like people are laughing at jokes that she had jokes for. People are cheering when she's fighting kung fu. It's the funniest kung fu scene ever. I mean, that was the movies of the time. It's this kind of wonky kind of kung fu between two women and the music, but it was cute because it made me realize, wow, that you can't do that today. Today, you can't be Will Smith or Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever and be like, "Hey, I'm Leo DiCaprio. I came to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Let me see what people think about watching a movie with me in it." And it's just that beautiful moment where they let her in the movie for free. They treated her like royalty, and the power of cinema, which is what I feel everyone should do. I feel that is the great thing you could do. I only have 3 minutes, and then I have to do an anoram on this. But I thought that was a beautiful moment of I'm in the movie. What do I get? And it's like you made this movie. That's cool. That's all people want. They just want that recognition of you were in something and it's in theaters or it's on Netflix or it's whatever. Who are you? And cool and like it's funny and it's just exciting. It's just an exciting moment. And the scene stealer. I'm going to talk about a scene now, and I probably don't have a lot of time. Tarantino did something with this movie where you see Bruce Lee and he's talking, and he that was a terrible Bruce Lee, but he's like, my fists are are registered as deadly weapons, and he's all like, and it's terrible. No, I can't do a Bruce Lee. I'm terrible at Bruce Lee. But basically, he's like, you see these guys today, and they want to fight you, but you can't. You have to do a dance and all this stuff. And I would love to do that. If you're in a film school, if you are in film school, or you're going to film school, or you're looking to be an actor, Mike Moe and Brad Pitt totally. I'm going to say that even though Bruce Lee's daughter just didn't like the way the scene was, she needs to know that at one point Bruce Lee was going to be the savior of this movie and save Sharon Tate from her grisly fate. And like that's how much he loves Bruce Lee. And I love the scene. I think it was the dialogue is awesome where he's like, you're laughing and you're saying something funny, but I'm not saying anything funny. He's like, oh, I think you think you're some kind of fighter, but like you're just a stain on Muhammad Ali's, you know, shorts. And he's like, and it's just two men going, hey, I'm a stunt man. Like people light me on fire. I jump off buildings. I crash in cars. Like, what do? You do kung fu. Like, I could kick your ass. And it's funny to see these two alphas, Brad Pitt and Bruce Lee, kind of fighting it out. And it's funny because it's just the way that the dialogue sells it is beautiful. It's like, well, what if we don't hit each other in the face? What if it's just two guys going, see who can knock each other on their ass? And it's just this cool thing. And it was kind of ruined by the girl and not I don't know the one I forgot the actress's name, and that's not a disservice. I just forgot her name because I haven't seen Death Proof in a while. But the I forget the one. She's not Uma Thurman. I know that. I forgot her name. But the wife of Kurt Russell in the movie, basically is like, "What the fuck are you guys fighting? He's the lead series and this and that." But it was such a cool moment to see Bruce Lee used in that way, and I loved it. And I just love this movie. I love the ending. I love the movie. I feel bad for Cliff and Rick, and that the adventures are over and it's done. I think maybe Tarantino might have to put this show as a Mad Men. The same way Mad Men was a show about ad executives in the 80s. I mean, in the 80s, well, no, the 50s, 60s. I think it'd be cool to see a 70s more of Rick Dalton. He probably has to recast it, but I want to see more of Rick Dalton's life in his movies. It was Bounty Law looks pretty cool. So I love the movie. It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but it is going to be it's one of the damn best movies Tarantino's ever made. And it's based on real events, based on the stuntman was a real guy who was killed by Charles Manson, and it's so much love in the movie, so much passion, and I thought it was really great. I really love seeing the movie. The ending is just sells it as awesome. It's such a great ending. So I gotta stop. I went to 11 minutes. I hope I don't I didn't go over time for my review. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it made enough money to beat for a hit for Tarantino. So I hope the 10th film Tarantino does is not his last, and we just get Tarantino for the rest of our lives because he's a fun, awesome director.